Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muqaddas Nazir. I'm going to roll number is 62. The topic I'm going to discuss based on the determination of metals in blood serum by atomic absorption spectroscopy. Now see the abstract is that the calcium content of blood serum can accurately determine on the sample by atomic absorption measurement in an air acetylene flame after removal of the proteins by coagulation and centrifuging. A fairly accurate value can be obtained more quickly from direct measurement on serum diluted with water, which may with advantage contain about 1% of the disodium salt of ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. Serum calcium values obtained by atomic absorption spectroscopy are significantly higher than those obtained by standard oxalate permanganate procedure and support the conclusion of this one on the shortcoming of chemical methods. Let's see the introduction. The existing method for clinically important determination of calcium in blood serum are all to some extent unsatisfactory. The classical method is that the Kramer and the Tisdale as modified by Clark and Clip and involves precipitation of the calcium as oxalate followed by repeated centrifuging, draining and washing. A solution of the precipitate in sulfuric acid is then titrated with 0.0 and 0.01 and permanganate solution. This method is tedious. The reproducibility of the result depending on the exact way in which the operations are performed, and owing to the appreciability solubility of calcium oxalate in wash liquid, the result tend to be low. Methods involving titration with ethylene diamine tetraestic acid or with Mureoxide yield results which are lower than those obtained by oxalate permanganate method. Most of the flame photometric methods are required prior removal of the protein by precipitation or ashing, or separation of calcium by precipitation and its oxalate. A few methods have been devised for measurement on directly diluted serum, but most of these involve use of oxyacetylene flame, which is very noisy and is unskilled hands can be dangerous. The accuracy of these direct methods has been questioned by Tello, who has developed a method in which interference are largely eliminated by measuring the emission of diluted serum in an oxyhydrogen or oxyacetylene flame relative to that of a serum whose calcium content has been determined by some other method. The accuracy of Tello method is likely to impaired, however, if the sodium, magnesium, or phosphate concentration differ markedly in the unknown and reference sera. Flame photometric method in general yields results about 4% higher than those obtained by oxalate permanganate method. It seems that there is need of completely new approach to problem of determination of calcium in a serum, and the following points were considered in developing the present method, that is speed, accuracy, applicability, expense. It seemed worthwhile to investigate the possibility of applying atomic absorption spectroscopy to this problem, since this technique has been shown to be far less subject to cationic and anionic interference than emission flame photometry. Let's see the apparatus of the following method. This apparatus used was that developed by Box and Walsh. Light from a calcium hollow cathode tube modulated at 100 was focused by a quartz lens to a reduced image at the center of the flame, into which the sample to be analyzed was aspirated and was then refocused by a second lens onto the entrance slit of Beckman DU monochromator set to pass the Ca resonance line at 422.7 angstrom. The signal from a IP28 photomultiplier tube behind the exit slit was amplified by a sample ACS amplified, recertified, and read on a meter. By adjusting the amplified gain so that a reading of 100 VN was obtained when distilled water was aspirated into the flame, percentage transmission when the sample was atomized could be read off directly. The initial experiment was carried out with oxyhydrogen and oxyacetylene flame using Beckman burner, but for most of the works an air acetylene flame of the longer type was used. Oh, sorry, of the Landergaard type was used. The atomizer and spray chamber shown below as in this figure. This figure was modified from those supplied with EEL flame photometer. The atomizer was constructed with a wide bore capillary tube, both to avoid clogging by serum solutions and to enable low air pressure to be used with a 10 cm long burner. This burner was made of stainless steel and slot through which the acetylene air mixture emerged was about 0.5 mm wide. Acetylene at up to up was introduced into the spray chamber through a small jet, but coal gas direct from the town supply could be used. Sorry, could be used instead of acetylene if required. By removing the jet, the flow rates corresponding to the above pressure were up to up acetylene through coal gas. Liquid consumption was about 9 to 15 ml per minute, of which quantity about 10% was vaporized while the remainder remained drained back into the spray chamber and down to waste tube. Now there is an experimental procedure material. Although some workers have found it necessary to use deionized water for calcium determination, glass distilled water was found to be perfectly satisfactory in the present work. Glassware was cleaned with chromic acid and rinsed repeatedly with distilled water. Solution to be stored for more than a few hours were kept in polythene bottles. Serum was measured out with pipettes graduated to 0.01 ml. Our reagents were of analytical quality and except for hydrochloric acid, which was distilled before use, were not further purified. Standard calcium solutions were made up by dilution from a stock solution containing 1000 ppm of calcium made by dissolving on dried calcium carbonate in the minimum quantity of hydrochloric acid and dilute of volume. There is a preparation of serum solution, separation of calcium by precipitation of as oxalate. Then the second method is deproteinization by trichloric acid, and the next is direct dilution with water. Technique of making measurements. Standard solution was prepared to cover the range of calcium concentration accepted, usually 1 to 5 ppm. The standard were measured first, then the unknown, followed by repetition of the procedure, and the transmission values for each solution were averaged and converted to optical density from the calibration curve showing optical density versus concentration from these. Oh my god. Okay. See, this is the calibration curve with density and versus concentration. The concentration of the unknown solution were read off by interpolation. The amount of solution needed for reading was about 1.2 ml, so that 2.5 ml would suffice for duplicate reading. However, for reasons of accuracy and convenience, the solution were normally made up in 5 ml volumetric flask. On this volume of solution, duplicate measurement could be made directly for both calcium and magnesium. Each absorption reading took about 7 seconds. Result. One difficulty in assessing the result of new method of determining calcium in serum is that there is no method of unquestioned accuracy for comparison. For this reason, although opportunity was taken to compare the atomic absorption result with those obtained by the Clark-Collip method, wherever sufficient quantities of serum were available, more importance was placed on the criteria of internal consistency. These may be summarized as: the result of the analysis must be independent of the amount of the sample taken. Recovery of calcium added to the sample in known amounts must be quantitative to within the limit of accuracy of the method. Different variations of the method should be give the same result. There is a table It is a table that the dilution of serum 1 to 7, 1 to 10, 1 to 15, 1 to 20, and the method used is dilution with water and dilution with EDT solution. Serum 1 to 8 to 4, 24, and the dilution of serum is 11.0. The method give the reading as the following, and the method using the EDT solution, the 1, 3, 7, 10, 23, and the readings given below. The reproducibility of the result obtained by atomic absorption measurement is illustrated in the table. This, which shows the result of calcium determination on the replicate sample of serum using method. The results show These results show the reproducibility of single reading and include error in the pipetting of serum, but do not, of course, show that the effect of NL in the calibration procedure. See, this is method number 1, calcium separated as oxalate. We took different readings, serum, and the second method is serum deprotonized method is serum diluted with water, and the fourth method is serum diluted with EDTA solution. But the most suitable readings given by the method A and D. See the comparison of atomic absorption and EDTA titration method for calcium in serum number 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 in the type of human. The method B give us the reading 8.7, 10.05, 8.7, 9.93, and method C give us 9.35, and these are the serum given the reading 30 to 31 given 9.35 to 10.6, and the method D give the all readings EDT titration again. See the conclusion. The atomic absorption method is suitable for the determination of the calcium content of blood serum using sample of 0.1 to 0.5 ml. Removal of protein by coagulation is desirable for the most accurate work, but for the rapid routine purpose, measurement can be made on the solution of serum diluted directly with water. Since the interference by a phosphate can be completely overcome by the addition of suitable suppressor, and since cation interference are small, and the method should also be suitable for determination of calcium in other biological fluids, some problem remains, but the atomic absorption method is least as accurate as any other and has the advantage of speed and economy of material. Thank you so much for your view. Allah Hafiz.